How to prevent overthinking? That's today's question. And it's really a really wonderful question. I'm excited to talk about it because it implies that we're aware of that too much thinking is not so good for us. So rather than trying to have to even explain why being too much in our heads is not the best thing for us, because it blocks the flow and it cuts us off from our inner wisdom, there's an innate wisdom knowing in all of us that when we think too much, when we're in our heads too much, things don't seem to run as smoothly and we don't feel as good as we want to feel and could feel, and we have just a deep sense that we're just stuck. And that's what happens. We overthink things and then we get stuck. And then ideas stop flowing, inspiration stops flowing, we lose direction, we lose focus. We can't take the next step because we just don't know what to do any longer. So, and that applies to all areas of life, not just creative activities, not just when you're trying to be productive, that we feel that block, that mental block of overthinking things. And we've all had that experience where we think things through, and we think things through, and we think we're prepared, and we think we've got it down, we have the answers. And then we finally get to doing the thing that we had planned so much for. And then we very quickly realize that it's going to go very differently, that life has its own way of unfolding and that it can't be predicted. And then we look back and we think of all the time that we quote unquote wasted on trying to plan and predict things and trying to think through every possible outcome, every possible scenario. And then still things wind up completely differently. And the remarkable thing is that we keep doing this. Even though we learn that lesson, every one of us has learned that lesson, that we overthink things. And then once we start doing, it's always different. And really, it's not just different as in just randomly different. It's actually real, different in a real way. And that from that realness, arises a much deeper truth and a tangibility that it's much better to respond to that reality, that tangibility, that realness, and respond to those circumstances as opposed to trying to predict and make things up ahead of time. So I think we all get that. And so the real question is, why do we keep doing it? And what can we do to get out of it? Well, first question, why do we keep doing it? Is because we're conditioned to use our minds for pretty much everything. From an early age on, we're conditioned to react to the world around us. And that reactivity of I like and I dislike, what do I stand for, what am I against, and all these mental artifacts, they keep us glued to kind of the headspace. And we try to interpret everything that happens through the mind. So, nowhere along the way does anyone really, unless you're very fortunate to have some very enlightened environment around you, are we taught to not rely on the mind to try to figure and predict the future, but to actually sink into the intelligence in our body, the wisdom within, and then respond to circumstances. Trust that the best solution always comes from observing what actually is, right? What's actually happening, and not what we predict will happen, because it never happens that way. And then we're stifled. Then we're stuck. We're stifled. We're anxious that we can't possibly come up with the right reaction and course of action to what happens. No, it's exactly trusting yourself and your inner wisdom to respond to circumstances. That is the most appropriate and most accurate way to respond to life. And because you're actually engaging with life, and you are life. So everything else, this mental lens is a separateness, a separation from true circumstances that that keeps us in a kind of a mental state where that's where anxiety and we try to figure everything else out and before it actually happens, and that's where all that lives. It's not a happy place. So then the second part, much more important part, what can we do to get out of this mental lens on life, this headspace? So yesterday's video, I talked about the top five things to be you, because being you is essentially being real. It's responding to your environment, to the people, places, and things around you in the most authentic way. And you can't be authentic unless you're actually responding to circumstances as they are, not as your mind likes to predict and wants them to be. Right? Then you're in resistance. Then you have a mental lens of what you want life to be, and then when it actually happens, you complain or feel scared that you're not prepared. This is all living through the mind, and that's not how we can be authentic. To be you is really to be in your body, to feel your sensations. And that's really the first clue here as to how to get out of the mind and respond to circumstances as they are. And don't be afraid. You'll always know the right path. You'll always know the right answer. You don't have to try to predict all the possible permutations of how life will show up, because it's going to show up differently anyway. So find that trust, find that peace within, connect to that, and know that being authentic is the most impressive thing you can come up with, both for yourself, for your own trust in life, and also the people around you. They sense that when you're being authentic, and being honest and true is the best way to move through a situation. Come up with solutions, come up with ways to respond that are actually accurate and effective. And everything else is just kind of it's crazy making. So let's look at one of those top five things to be you that I talked about. Let's zero in on that one today, and that is breath work. One of the best ways I've found for myself, I apply this all the time, is to become aware of our thoughts, because it's when we believe our thoughts, when we're constantly glued to them, when a thought pops up and then we kind of follow it down the rabbit hole and it leads to another thought and another thought and we get lost in thought. That's when we run into trouble, because we're totally in our headspace then, right? And nowhere in our body no longer. So it's a very simple exercise. I'm going to, let's do it together. And I'm going to walk everyone through it. Normally you would do this in silence, but I'm just going to walk you through the different steps. We're just going to do it for 1 minute. It's a thought awareness exercise. And it consists of focusing on our breath. And we're going to start right now, and I'll walk through the different details as it happens. But keep your eyes closed and just listen to my voice. And I'm going to do it with you. Okay? All right, here we go. With eyes and mouth closed, take a deep breath and focus your awareness on the tip of your nose, the entrance of your nostrils, where you can feel the air coming in and out. And take regular breaths. You don't have to force it, just as you would breathe normally, because that is the reality as it is. You don't need it to be any different. And just breathe through your nostrils, feel the air coming in and out. And let's do that for 10 seconds. Now, as you're focusing on your breath coming in and out of your nostrils, you might notice some thoughts coming up. And those thoughts might take you away, take your attention away from your breath. And when that happens, it's okay. No reason to get frustrated. Just notice it. Notice that your mind has wandered, and bring your attention back to your breath. And keep doing that. Every time your mind wanders, just bring your attention back to the entrance of your nostrils. And feel the air coming across your skin, entering and exiting. And you are connecting to your body, coming out of your head, disconnecting from your thoughts, and connecting with your inner wisdom. Let's do that for a few more seconds. And slowly open your eyes. Stay connected to your breath. Notice the world around you. Maintain that connection to your body. This connection is to be maintained at all times. It's the connection to your true self, your inner wisdom, your inner divinity. It's the flow of life. And you're feeling it. You're feeling your body. So, there you have it. That was just a minute of it. You can continue this. I recommend 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes in the evening. And that alone creates a different relationship to your body. You no longer forget to be yourself. You build and nurture that connection to feeling yourself and your sensations. And this simple exercise takes us out of our head. You can probably feel it already. There's a calm that has come over you, and there's a peacefulness. And you can feel, if you look closely, you can feel a kind of electricity, a current that's running through your body. It might be in your hands, might be in your feet, maybe in your face, around your nose, because you've put your attention there. You can feel that electricity and that current around your nose now. So that is the life force, that is the flow of life that flows through everything that exists. And the more we practice this, the more we are connected to that great energy flows through us. I don't know about you, but I enjoy doing this all the time. I hope you do too. This was a foray, a little practical exercise today. I know last time someone had requested it, so trying to answer all the needs. Lots of waves, lots of hugs. Thank you for all the hugs and the hearts. Man, I'm in a Zen place now. From just a little bit of thought awareness. So I hope everyone takes away a little practical lesson that they can apply. You can do it in the morning and the evening, but also throughout the day. I look for any opportunity where I feel like I'm stuck. I've been overthinking things. There's a block, a mental block, a creative block, a life block. I'm not feeling joy. I'm not feeling connected to myself. I'm not feeling authentic. A simple exercise like this will reground you and put you back at the place where you belong, which is being you. I hope everyone enjoyed it. Keep it up. Keep being happy, being free, and keep being you. Bye-bye.